It's Tuesday night, so we have Tuesday night scrims for you this off season. My name is Yes Mark Ramsey, and with me is Jeep Girls. How's it going, Jeep?
I am doing well. How are you?
Doing great. I'm doing great. It's Echo night, so it's always a good time. Tonight we got two really good matches. We got on the first match, Dysfunctional Halos versus Dysfunctional Misfits. Those are two season six teams that came off really good seasons, 18-9 for Dysfunctional Misfits, and 12-8 for the Dysfunctional Halos. So we got a really good matchup here tonight. And in our second match, we'll have Selfish versus Incognito Inc., two brand new teams. So we will see them, get warmed up for their first season, which will be exciting. And so, what have you been up to? How did you manage the Echo server catastrophe?
I cried and made TikToks about my pain and suffering. No, we got together with my team and we did some other things. We played some other games and had a good time and enjoyed the time together as a team still and building that chemistry. Not in the arena, which is always nice to do. But yes, I have thoroughly missed our beloved game, and I'm so happy that it is back up and running and easy ish. I think everybody's having an okay time getting back in, which is really, really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I took the opportunity to take a little Echo break. I take one of those every few months. It's only like 3 or 4 days, but it just kind of gets me out of my habits and routine and kind of gives me a fresh look. So the last time I played, other than this morning, was the scrim against y'all last week. Again,
Oh yeah.
6 sets wore me out. So it was a good time for a break.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe everybody needed a break. Maybe it was a forced break to remind us how much we love, because you don't know what you got until it's gone. So nice to be back indeed. Hello to everybody in the Twitch chat. We see you there, Juicifer, Quacks, and Domingos. Nice to see you guys. So
Yeah.
this is
So
five v
before we
five,
get
right?
Oh yeah, and before we get started, I'll just kind of roll through everything that we got going on at Spatial Collective because we have lots and lots of events going on. First off, we have our Candy Cane King Classic. Can't say that 5 times very quickly. The Candy Cane Classic. That is not this weekend, but next weekend, 17th and 18th. That's a 3-on-3 tournament. It's got a totally new rule structure. There's going to be 4 rounds, 3 minutes each, and carryover points into each. So we have little 12-minute games here that will be going all weekend. We have lots of room left. We are just going to play as many people that wants to play, and then we'll figure out the logistics from there. We also have on this Saturday, the 10th, we have Saturday Night Spirits with Echoalition. That is an Echo Among Us doubleheader that is ran by our friends at Team Echoalition, and they're bringing that over to the Spatial Collective server to get our people involved and help grow their server a little bit as they start this new event. So if you play Among Us, definitely jump in on that. That's a lot of fun, and drinking is encouraged. So it gets loose and it gets fun. So join in on that. You can sign up for those in the community events channel. We also have dehydration matches, which is our marathon matches every Thursday night. And every other Wednesday night is when we're going to be doing our challenge matches. We're going to be broadcasting those here on Vermal. Right now, you can go to Spatial Collective and vote on which match you want to do there. Right now, we have either the boat races, bad ping, or we have no boosters. So that's what currently the boat races are the popular choice. I think it's 100% voting there. So if you want to try to upend that, get in there and vote. But that would be fun. Have you read the boat race rule set?
I have not. I was about to ask you. I have like a whole list of questions now because of all of the fun, incredible things you have. But yeah, what is the boat race?
So it starts off 5v5, and then every time a team scores, the other team loses a player. And
Oh, nice.
so, and you can get a player back if you score 3. So you can remedy it. But other than that, it's basically you lose a player, and then as it whittles down, the other player's got to step up on the short side and try to score some goals and knock the other team out. So once there are no teammates on either team, then that is the final score. So
And what were the other two that you can choose from?
The bad ping is just we tried to find the person with the worst lobby, or pick one using Spark and try to jack up the ping and see how that goes. And then the no booster is also pretty self-explanatory too. That's our slow match. And we got an actual match going on here. This would be Dysfunctional Halos and Dysfunctional Misfits. And Halos is going to start off with the disc, and the cooler dude is going to send it over to Pack. And that'll be Snake. Snake stepping in and helping out with his sub. He's all over the post, and he makes a nice move and hits the top area. And it looks like you got a goalie stun there to assist him, and they get on the board first.
They sure do, and they are playing 4v5 right now, but we do have the Halos over on orange, and that's Sneck, Rose, Phoenix, Ash, and the Cooler Dude, and coming in on the Misfits in blue is Southernly Discomfort, Virtual Dysfunction, Daisy, Most High, and Lunar. So this is bound to be a good time. That is a quick joust there by the Misfits. Going to send that one right down to the tunnel to Most High. He's going to cross the arena, not quite going to connect. That's going to give Phoenix the opportunity to send that one right back into the bubble.
And it's going to be a little bit of a steal there by Snake. He still has it on the offensive side, sends it under. Snake's going to have it on boot. He sends it under goal, and he has a player there, but it misses over the top there of the goal, but still going to maintain possession here as they slow down Snake all over the place. He seems to always have the disc. He's going to get a reset there to the Cooler Dude, and they're going to try to set up a play here. Nice bounce pass off the ceiling to cross shoulder. The shot coming in, and it's good. Yes, another goal here by the Halos. That one's by Phoenix Ash. And we'll see if the Misfits have a remedy.
You know, that was a really nice play. They were very calm. They appeared to be calm in the arena. Who knows what was really going on, but they appeared to be very very balanced and very calm and making those nice passes, and it was beautiful, and it worked. They were very patient with it. So, really nice to see.
Yes, and we have, let's see, who is this here? He's moving too fast with all those fancy moves. I couldn't see who that was. It looks like here's Snake has it. He's in near tunnel. He's got an open goal. He lets it rip, but it's going to go around the back of the goal and kick out to his teammate, who's going to send it back over. And he's going to move it into goal, cut in a nice cut into Phoenix Ash. And Snake probably has played with these players before, I think, because he seems to fit in well with this group.
He does, definitely taking kind of command there. Also, you've got Wooglin there in the Twitch chat who has just subscribed, so thank you for that. That's always great. We're always grateful and appreciative for those. Very nice play from both of these teams tonight. Indeed. Now, are these some of the players that we're going to see in the Candy King Classic?
I don't know. I would hope so. I don't think a lot of these people are in the collective yet. I know Cream is Miss Sweet Cream is the captain of that team there in Southernly. So we still got some people to bring over, I think. Another goal here. This one will finally be for the blue side here. I'm going to call them Misfits. I'm probably going to get these names swapped up because they both start with dysfunctional. But they get on the board here. They bring it within 4. Plenty of echo here in this first round to be played. And like I said, both these teams coming off really good season 6s. 18 wins for the dysfunctional, or for the Misfits rather. And the Halos take it up. It's Snake here. They're trusting him with the disc a lot. And he's going to move it up and go through Phoenix Ash yet again for another 2. That duo seems to have a lot of rhythm.
They do. Chemistry sometimes can be a little bit hard to build, so it's nice when somebody can pop in, then you can keep that up and keep it moving. Right now, Misfits are going to come out with that disc. Going to quickly grab that one. That is going to be Daisy with the disc this time. Going to pop it over gently to Lunar. Lunar going to send that one down to Discomfort on the floor there. Southernly just going to back that one up, trying to avoid that stack. It's going to send it right through into the hands of Virtual Dysfunction. It's going to send it right back. Not quite going to connect, though, and Phoenix is going to get the opportunity to send it all the way in to the blue zone. It's going to bounce right back out. Maybe a self-pass, I don't know, but Southernly Discomfort is going to deny that goal and return it right back down to the other end of the arena.
Yeah, nice pass through the middle to Lunar. Lunar's going to try to reset it, but picked off, sent wildly toward the goal, but couldn't get past the shield. And sent back around to the opposite floor where it's going to be a rush to the disc. Unable to be cleared out. And the Halos still have it. They're going to bring it back to Bow Tie. They're going to take it in and rips the shot, but too low. It's going to kick back down. And we have Stepdaddy G in your new Stepdaddy G in the chat. He was supposed to play tonight, but he's got COVID. We hope he feels better. Sorry to hear that. And then
Definitely sorry to hear that.
we also have the Spatial Collective. I don't know if you see there, Spatial Collective in the house. I have no idea who runs that account, but they show up.
Surprise.
Yes, and they they're very respectful so far. They haven't tried to troll or anything. I can't tell if it's somebody on my roster or not, but no one's fessed up yet. So I'm
Hmm.
low key obsessed with who Spatial Collective is, but we have not. I have no
Will the
leads.
will the real Slim Shady please stand up?
Right. And Halo's still with the disc. Rose on the floor. He's going to send it to Shield, where he's going to find Snake. Snake makes a nice move and puts it in. They have a 8-point lead here, and about 4 minutes and 20 seconds left in this first round. And we'll see how the Misfits, the Misfits respond here.
A little confusing when they both start with the same name, isn't it? Oh boy.
Yeah, and I'm not used to Southern being on this team either, so it's all changing on me so fast.
It's hard to keep up sometimes, but that disc is going to be in the hands of Rose there in the midfield, trying to grab that one and keep moving down the arena. Get a little heat there from just virtual dysfunction and Southernly discomfort. Going to send that one right back down as dysfunction takes off with it. Going to send that one in. Oh, what a grab by Phoenix. Going to deny that goal, sending it right back through the midfield and all the way. Wow. Will that one go in? Not quite, but it's going to be close. Phoenix going to try and finish it, but another save by Daisy coming in clutch.
They do the same thing on the other end, and a great job on both ends to keep those goals from going in. Good stack backs, and then as they get the stack back, they push it back forward and grab it before it goes in the goal, and they don't even get Chicago'd while they do it, so it's magical.
The impressive part, geez.
It's meant to be. And so we have loose disc rather in the midfield, centered by Cooler Dude. Is going to be stuck in the tunnel, and it looks like the Misfits will knock it loose up into the top trench, but picked up by Halos, but they're not able to get it out of the zone. It's picked up here by Southern. He's going to get a nice shot on goal, but it's going to go wide to the right and into the hands of the Halos as they're going to clear it down the same side tunnel. No, they go into the station and in the tunnel. There we go. And then through a nice clear here. We'll see if their stack can get up and do any offensive damage, but actually gets caught up in all the geos. They still have the disc. They trying to move it forward. They keep moving back with those passes, not quite getting there, but they do move it forward ultimately, and Snake puts it in the top pocket. They have a 10-point lead here, and it's danger time here. If you're the other team, you got to start scoring.
Oh, there we go. And there is the pause coming in. I assume that that's for the Misfits. Maybe not. I don't know.
That's a yes, Mark Ramsey pause. It's where you hit the pause button on the way to the tunnel.
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, while we are paused, take a second to talk to me about the Candy King Classic, because I was reading it earlier and it looks like it's mixed teams. Like the admin is going to make the teams up. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I'm not sure Woog is delegating for that, but it'll be some of us who we're gonna. So it's just one person sign up, and then we make up the teams. And right now we have I think 28 signed up. So not sure how many teams we're going to end up with, or how the format will be. I guess on that will probably depend on how many teams ultimately we get. But then they're gonna do 2 days, the evening of the 17th, and then kind of the afternoon, late afternoon on the 18th. So lots of 3-on-3 action, and I'm not sure the tournament format, but I know, like I said, it'll be little 12-minute mini games, I guess, 3-minute rounds, and then carryover points.
3-minute rounds. Oh, very nice. Yeah, I was going to ask if it was single or double elimination.
Yeah. And I should say quarters. Yeah, 3-minute quarters. So.
Okay, that's cool. That's super fun.
Let's see. Our Snake's going to take it away from the Misfits in the floor. They send it. Halo send it forward. He raises his hands like he made it, but he didn't quite make it. And we have Lunar sending it over across. Nice pass out by the Misfits as they're going to chase this disc, but Halo's back first. We have only about a minute and a half left in a 10-point deficit, so it looks like the Halos have a pretty good grip on this first round. They also are pushing the disc forward in the offensive end. Lunar's going to try to move, but it looks here like Snake with another nasty move there, and then a nice shot off the post. So he has been really, I mean, influential is kind of an understatement. He has been like dominating this round single handedly.
And you don't even notice that they don't have that fifth player in the arena because they don't seem to need them right now. Oh, unfortunate. They did miss the disc there on Joust, and that's going to give Sneak the opportunity to send it in. Going to bounce off the ding ring, though, and right back out, and it's going to be Rose picking that one up. Rose finds the cross, though, up to Sneak, and it's going to send it into, well, it was cooler, but it's going to bounce off of Daisy for the points, just stretching that lead to 14. I pretty safely can say that Halos have this first round, but that doesn't mean that round two won't be any different.
No, round twos are always different. Gives the other team a chance to get their legs under them and get warmed up. You know, if you come in here pretty cold, then that first round is going to be tough, especially absolutely. With a team that is ready to roll. I know, talking to Miss Sweet Cream, that her team was definitely chomping at the bit for tonight's action. Southernly told me he was wondering how his team would show up, so I think they're still getting their chemistry together. And Halos has been so far a brick wall, as they're gonna continue to possess this disc for the remainder of the first round. And we will see how the second round turns out here. Let's see.
But that's the really cool thing. That's the cool thing about this is you guys doing this during the off season gives these teams the opportunity that they, you might not be. It's kind of hard sometimes to find, especially when it's a team that you're just put together, to find teams that are willing to play and that are willing to give you that competitive, fight that you need in order to develop that chemistry.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of one of our goals, is to really try to introduce teams to other teams that might not be in their orbit and put them together. And, I know we've met a lot. I mean, that's how we meet a lot of teams that we scrim with, is through other teams. And so hopefully, other people watching the cast will say, well, that'd be cool to play this team, that team. So hopefully we can get a nice, rich environment of competitive play and tune all these teams up and get them ready for season 7. It's still
Which
too
is
far
right around
away.
the corner. It's too far away, you think? No, I think we're gonna blink in just a second. It's gonna be Christmas, and then you're gonna breathe, and it's gonna be New Year's, and then the season's gonna be starting. And if you haven't been scrimmaging, and you're gonna get left behind this season. I think this is gonna be a tough season.
Yeah, it is, and the season is long. It has a couple breaks in there, but I forget how long it is. I'm just chomping at the bit, though, because it's been too long since the games have mattered, so to speak.
No, I know. It's hard to stay in that fight mode. It's easy to get complacent with having a good time and not necessarily just working really hard to move up the ranks. I understand that. But who's not having a hard time with it is these two teams tonight. Halos and Misfits are both doing a fantastic job. That's going to be Rose getting on the board first here in round 2. Now, this is the best 2 of 3, right? As always.
Yep, that's normal. So. Normal Vermal scrim rules, or Vermal match rules, rather. So if Halos beats the Misfits in this round, then it'll be game over. So they need to find a plan here. Let's see what they do on the rollout. They kick it to the left side tunnel, but nobody home. That's going to kick into the back stack, but it eludes them and rolls down in. But the stack gets back there in time, and they have it. They're able to clear it. Through. It gets through somehow, and they're going to have an offensive opportunity here and an easy goal. It looks like, if they can retrieve the disc, and they do, and they score. They did get a goalie back there, but unfortunately, with behind that, goal on the backboard, that's a really tough guard for the goalie.
It is. That's a really hard one to practice, also, because you've got to have somebody who can consistently take those on you, in order to really get you to practice those. And they're tough. I ended up meeting with Wiggles, and Wiggles was kind enough to teach me some skills to ward off those backboard shots, which I still struggle with from time to time. So they're not necessarily an easy block.
I watched NEPA, I guess it was last week, in maybe it was the All-Star match or something, but Solar P, I just couldn't even believe the saves he was making behind the goal, and then also the saves in front of the goal. I think he had 12 in the first half or something, and he's just, I mean, I couldn't even believe it watching it.
Crazy.
You're just like, and it was back to back too. It was like 3 in a single possession, and he has a way of grabbing it behind goal off these crazy bounces off backboard, and then still clears it from behind goal somehow
Mhm.
and gets it out at least to a safe place. And I was just watching him in total awe.
Cool. Yeah, no, he's a good goalie. There's a lot of really good goalies who have a lot of skill, and it's really nice to see. Um, goalies a lot of times have to bear the brunt of if they're the last man standing, right? If the goal gets in, it's because the goalie wasn't able to block it. But it reminds me of soccer, and what we used to always teach players who wanted to be goalie was, if it gets to you, you are the last line of defense, and that means it went through everybody else on your team first. So you should
Right.
never feel bad about missing a save, because everybody else on your team had that same opportunity to make that block and to get in that disc's way, and they weren't able to do it. So you were the last line of defense. So
Yeah, it's a team effort. And in Echo, it's almost unfair at times what these goalies have to go through.
oh
the,
gosh,
the trauma of saves that you make that go into the goal and count as points. And that's why I don't think I have the mental fortitude to be a goalie and do that. I feel so bad for my goalies after they make these incredible saves and then they get Chicagoed. But more points here and more points on top of that by Halos. They are turning it up here for round 2 and taking it to the dysfunctional Misfits.
they are, and there's 7 minutes left on the clock, and they are up by 8 already. And Jucifer was calling for it earlier, thought that it would be just because of the current rankings of these two teams. But there's always that opportunity and that chance to, as Phoenix literally runs across the arena. That's hysterical. That disc is going to be right there back in the hands of Rose, going to bounce off the backboard and not quite make it in. Phoenix Ash going to pick it up and move into the bubble. Oh, what a grab by Daisy. Going to make another fantastic save there, getting that one right back out. Lunar helping clear that disc all the way down into the orange zone. Stacks are going to have to come through. There they go. And that is Virtual Dysfunction sending that one in for the long 3 for the Misfits.
Yeah, that's what they needed. Needed a little bit of momentum, and then if you can get it on the other team's nest and you can start putting pressure on their rollouts, that's how scoring streaks happen. So let's see how they decide to play this defensively, and if they can build some momentum here. They kick it to the right side tunnel, and they're going to send it through. Nice pass on the same side floor. Nice move by Phoenix, but is tracked down defensively. He does punch the opposing player and gets the disc back, kicks it over to cross boot, where it's shot, but a nice save and sent out by Daisy, and they're going to be trying to get up and get it out of the zone. They go up, but a little bit of, I think, hit off a teammate and went loose into Valley. They have 3 blue players up, but they send it to the Halo in the back, and they stack up forward, and they have a nice bubble forming here. Defense is back, but the disc is loose inside the bubble. Kick it over to 12 o'clock. Nice slam dunk by Phoenix Ash, expressing his being pumped up there at the end too, as they take a 7-point lead here with about half the round left to go.
Up half the round, but yeah, just to have gotten those points on the board, Dysfunctional Misfits, they were in a position a few seconds ago where it was 8-0, right? They were very well, very, very close to being on target for a mercy round if they would have kept that pace up. So when Misfits got that 3, it kind of slowed them down a bit and gave them the opportunity to mix things up. And I'm hoping that will motivate the Misfits in a way that they can keep that rolling. But for right now, that stack came in super fast on an open goal, and Sneck is going to put in the 3, stretching that lead once again to 10 with under 5 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, that one stack is clearly been an advantage for them. With Phoenix and Snake primarily coming in and running that attack as kind of a 1A, 1B situation where Snake will get it and open up. They'll draw the defenders in, open up room for Phoenix, and he'll put in the dagger. They have a turnover here in deep in enemy territory. They're going to try to extend this lead further. Rose across to opposite pack, but nobody home. And they do. Snake picks it up, kicks it back across to Rose. He has a hand on the shield, but it takes Snake takes it from him in the bubble, and nice long reset there to Cooler Dude, who grabs Cloud but decides to go to Bowtie and kick it to the right side shoulder. Shot. Oh, a cut pass, but Phoenix couldn't quite handle it. Under boot, sent over to cross shoulder, and right off the ding ring. They're going to maintain possession. They're still throwing shots at the goal until it goes in, which it finally does, and extends the lead to 12. Very persistent offensive possession there by the Halos.
It was, and that's why it's important to never give up and to never assume that either A, you've gotten it in and back off from the attack, or B, that they're going to make the clear, because sometimes you just keep trying and it's going to get in that goal eventually. So nice work indeed by the Halos right now. That disc, though, is in the hands of Southernly Discomfort, who's going to send all the way down. Beautiful pass play there down to Virtual Dysfunction. Virtual going to bounce it off the back wall, not quite able to get to it. Phoenix does, though, and makes that clear, sending it right back down into the hands of Rose. Looking for the reset option, going to find it with the Cooler Dude. Sends that one all the way down into the blue zone there, but it's going to bounce off the Geo. Phoenix going to send that one across the arena, not quite going to connect, and that's going to give Lunar the opportunity to pick it up, make that clear, getting it. Oh no, a Geo does get in the way, and that's going to have to be picked up again.
Loose disc in the trap here, picked up by Halos as they continue to move it forward. The pass hits Cloud and then bounces off Star and is still loose. Picked up by the Halos. They've been picking up everything. And a really nice shot there by Phoenix, and it fooled the goalie there on the left-hand side. And they extend the lead here even further. And they have a pretty good clutch on this round, too. Looks like they are going to finish off the Misfits in 2 rounds. Unless the Misfits can start scoring like crazy. I don't even know if mathematically they have that option at this point. And I don't think they have, at this point, the stacks to give them the speed necessary to make that happen. They do send it deep here, but not quite able to connect with the striker. They have a 50-50 situation that's going to go in the favor of the Misfits, but they bang it off the ding ring on an open goal. That's a tough break. That would have been a nice 3 to add to the scoreboard.
It would have, absolutely.
And we have Misfits here with the disc. Southernly is going to send it forward, but right into the defense, and they send it over to the cross trap on their side, but it's retrieved by the Misfits, who's going to try to move it forward. They go to double diamond, and it's snuffed out, and now we have a loose disc picked up by the Halos. He kind of tosses it up, but that doesn't really go anywhere other than into the offensive hands. They have a nice opportunity here, and a nice, and he goes through the goal. He made the save, but maybe thought he was in a pub after that. I'm not sure. But that was a nice grab from about 3 meters per second at the beginning of that play.
That was a nice play. It was, it was great play on the Misfits. It was a good save. Unfortunately, the goal had other ideas, which is fine. It happens from time to time. Joust advantage going over to the Halos now, making that clear. Gonna send that one all the way down into the bubble off the back wall. Will the Misfits be able to beat Halos to it? Yes, they are, and they are going to send that one all the way right back down. It's going to bounce off of a Geo and come right back. So they're trying to get it down into the orange zone, and we do have it there now. That's in the hands of Daisy. Daisy moving into the position, an open goal for a moment there, but Phoenix going to pick that one up. Oh, loses possession to Most High, and that's going to be back to Daisy. What a save by the Cooler Dude, though. Going to deny that one, not get it in the goal this time, and send that one right back into the midfield.
And the Misfits here, Southernly will track it down, send it through the middle where he has Lunar. They do have some folks forward, but they weren't able to get that pass to him. They retrieve it in the trench. Lunar kind of rip a shot from the trench, but the goalie's there. A secondary follow-up shot also unable to get in for any points. Phoenix is going to flip it back as there looks like we have end of the round here, and that's going to be the final score, 17-5. I don't have a timer on my screen, so
Oh,
I realize when play is over. I think you have that overlay. I don't though. But yeah, nice way to finish that off with a dozen point second round win. So double digit wins on both rounds there for the Halos. They played really well. We played them last year in Vermal, and that is a very tough team. And then when you add Snake in there to the mix, who obviously just look at the scoreboard, you can see he had quite a game.
he definitely had a
Hey,
quick
into
game.
the hands
You know,
of
they all did. Snake definitely putting up 13 points though. You know, they all though over on Halos, they all had assists. We've got four for Rose and Snake, and Phoenix coming in with 2, and the Cooler Dude coming in with 3. And assists to me are as important, if not more important, than goals, because that shows that you are willing to give up the goal for a teammate. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who scores as long as there are points on the board, right?
Yeah, and it shows that they're setting up offensive attacks and bubbles, and these aren't long shots with open goals. These are intentional offensive layouts where they get spaced out, they make good passes, and all over the board there with assists, and then even with points. I mean, everybody got in on the fun there. So that is a very solid team. They should have a lot of success in season 7. I think Misfits will as well. This was a nice tune-up for them to play a team that was ready to roll like the Halos. And we got another exciting match here with Selfish and Incognito coming up here next. That's a team, those two teams, I'm very excited. We've scrimmed them both, and they're both very good. So I think they're both going to be having great seasons, and we'll see them battle it out here shortly as soon as we can get a fresh server for y'all. And we have a lot of people showing up into the chat, Lolly, with a tier 1 sub gift. Thank you so much for that, Lolly, and Decipher in the chat. And we have Sweet Cream. We got Jeep Girls. You're in the chat as well. Nice. And
Of course.
thank you for everybody for jumping out. Chuckles as well. I saw him earlier in there, and so appreciate you all coming out and watching your peers mix it up in competitive off-season scrims. So let's see here. So the next team we have, the two teams, Selfish. These quite at the time. I guess they're still filling out the rosters. Both of these teams only have 3 official roster members. On the Selfish, we have. Let me see. Where do my lineups go? They have JMB, or no, Selfish. We have Viper, Phobia, K, and iMac. And then on Incognito, we have JMB, Turt, and Sync. So both of those have great foundations. Both those teams have incredible one-on-one players and also great meta and IQ in general. So I think we'll get a really good second match here. So are you signing up for any of these events, Jeeb? Which one sounds like one you want to get involved in here?
They all sound fun. That's the thing, right? It's hard to make the decision on where you want to be and what you want to do. It's tough. You guys have some fun stuff going on, and I'm gonna have to really look into it and see exactly what I want to do.
Well, the candy cane does come with the tournament champion role. That is part of our tournament series. So you can book your ticket to the Tournament of Champions with a win in that one, as well as a nice fancy tournament champion role. So I definitely want everyone to get involved in that. That'll be such a fun event. I like the short games. I think that works with my attention span really well.
But a 3v3, that means I actually have to carry my weight.
the 3v3 is always tough because what do you do with that third person? I'm
Right?
so stacks are so.
Yeah, stacks are it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, if I'm not stacked up, I'm just I just feel lost. So do you leave the third back as a defensive third? Do you put them on stack break duty? Do you just roll and do loose stacks so where closest people stack up each time and just kind of let it organically flow? So who knows? These teams won't have a lot of time to work that out. So we'll see how that all plays out over those 2 days.
Interesting. I'm intrigued. I don't know. I think that one sounds like fun. I think that one definitely sounds like a good time, especially that you guys are going to um pick the team. So it's not going to be necessarily, you're not going to go in with intention of you're up against master tier, an entire team of master players who are just going to stomp on you. Sorry, no offense, Raptured. I see your name on the list. Rapture's a great dude. Great dude. Has helped my team out many times in the past. So,
Oh yeah, I played with him, and then like a week ago, I was just really impressed. He's doesn't like it's very like true skill too. It's not a lot of flashy stuff. It's just like
right.
a lot like really good shooting and gameplay. I was just like watching him and learning things. Sometimes you just play with certain people and you just start observing them because you're like, this person is something else.
He coached us a lot in, I want to say it was season 5. He would come in and coach us a lot. It may have been season 4. I can't recall. They call them kind of merged together, but yeah, he would come in and coach us a good bit, and a very humble, friendly person, very kind, very knowledgeable about the game. So definitely a nice one to have around. Good
Oh
dude.
yeah.
So is Matthew. Matthew's incredible as well. I see his name there on the list as well. So.
Yeah, we had iFoxy was one that ran one of our team practices on when I was on Dragon Army.
Oh yeah.
Uh, and then Phenom's another good one where if you get a coaching session with him or any type of training session, he's just like the way he sees the game is really helpful and kind of breaks down. I remember doing a training session with him. I'm like, oh my god, I'm doing everything wrong. Like I feel like if I feel like I'm doing everything almost right, but nothing correct at all.
Yeah,
But
I feel that. we've
yeah,
yeah
but
we've
that's
had a
good.
we've
It's
had a
good.
couple of coaches. Yeah.
It's good to take like that jar of experience that you feel you have, and then just kind of break it every once in a while, and then let it take a new form.
Absolutely. And I don't know about you, but my team, everybody learns differently, right? Which is life, and that's the way it should. We've had some very aggressive coaches, we've had some very laid back coaches. We've had Vacant had come in and coached us a couple times during one season. We had some sessions with Venom. We've had Unknown and Ninja Tim have helped us out a good bit, and iFoxy, and gosh, I can't even remember who else. How to Breathe, and there's a whole list of them. Raptured Nine, just some great people, and they all coach so incredibly different. It's insane to watch, and it's fun. It's like teachers back in school. You would have some that you really got along with, but other people didn't, and then you would have others that you didn't get along with, but everybody else loved them. So it's kind of been fun to have different people come in and teach you things, and to see the way they see the game, and the ideas that they have about it, and their understanding and knowledge of it. It's fun.
Yeah, it it's really like with our team, we have people that all play very differently too. I mean, like just the way they play the game is different. So it's kind of nice to have that on the team where everyone has the same game plan, but everybody brings different skill sets, and you can only pick that up observing and learning from lots of different people with lots of different ways that they play the game.
Ask you this because I'm always curious about how other teams do this. Do you guys have a set starting roster, or is everybody kind of on the equal and whoever is available?
Yeah, we are all on the equal. So we don't have subs. If you're on the team, you're a starter. And in the case, basically what we usually do is I try to divide it up into 3 stacks. And then that way people can develop kind of internal chemistry with their stack partner. And then you rotate one of those stacks. So it might, put two stacks in one, rotate one of the stacks for round 2, and then basically our unspoken or unofficial rule is whatever lineup won the round. If you go to round 3, whatever lineup won the round, then they get a second chance at winning the second round. So that gives an incentive for success as well as gives everybody equal time.
Very fair. Very fair. Yeah, we've
Yeah.
done a couple of different days. We had one season where we had no subs, and whoever was available, that's who played. Which worked. It worked fine. We've had some seasons where we've done subs. In fact, this last season we had a starting roster and then we had 2 subs. But our subs have quickly become skilled uh, equally, if not greater, than some of our starters. And availability is opening. I mean, that's a big thing of it, is availability. Like, if you just don't have the availability and somebody else does, and you're of equal skill, then you have to play that player who's got the better availability. So it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Well, and the by everyone being a starter does avoid those situations
Mhm.
where sometimes the sub becomes the starter. And if and it all depends on the team's goals. I mean, Spatial was started as just like a buddy team, so we all were prioritizing having a good time over necessarily winning at first, and then uh so with that, if we were assembling a team to try to climb and be part of Challenger Cup or something, maybe that would be a different approach. But I think it all depends on the goals of the team, and as part of that goal, developing some sort of team camaraderie, and I
Right.
think everybody being on the same level is really good for that.
I agree. I agree. I was debating on mixing things up a little bit this season. I might
And if
I
you're
might
just
upset some people.
and if you're just joining us, we are in between match 1 and match 2. We're just getting the server ready for second game, which is going to be Selfish versus Incognito Inc. Both of these teams are new to Vermal, so we have yet to see them in any type of official action. So this will be one of your first exclusive opportunities to see these teams mix it up. I think both of these teams, the sky is the limit. I think we'll be seeing them in platinum tier very quickly into the season, as long as they can kind of find a game flow and stick to that. And I think, and I know both these teams are scrimming and scrimming and scrimming. They're not hard to get a scrim with. There is the board. Looks like tonight for. Oh well, I've been informed I am the only one that can see the board here. But I will tell you, it'll be Viperphobia on Selfish. It'll be K, IMAC, and Lucify. Playing for Incognito Inc. is going to be JMB, Jim B, or Jimbo. It'll be Turt, Dr. Turt, Walker, and Local Peasant. So they looks like we got 8 in the arena. So we are not far away from getting into this second half of this double header. Jucifer showing his love for Walker. Walker is a great player. I do not like defending him. He is squirrely.
It's a good term. Squirrely.
Yeah, well, you feel like you have him cornered, and then he finds a way out of it somehow. And all of a sudden, he's like, on the other side of you, and you're like, how on earth? But yeah, has great moves. And then Jimbo is just a really solid in the middle player. He's hard to punch. He will mess your stacks up as well as pick up his own stacks. So he's got his whole process works at about 100 miles an hour. We have Turt, who's a good two-way player. Local, who's out of the academy and has become one of the uh, best players to come out of the academy. Jimbo, also an academy last season. On Selfish, that's Viperphobia's team. Viper is obviously a good player, all around player. He had injury earlier this year that he's worked his way back from and managed to get really back to that high level that he's always played at. Kay, great teammate. She's a good support stacker. IMAC played with all these guys the other night, and we had a big old test in front of us. It was I think Raptured and Juvio and Skittles and somebody else, and so IMAC is very good communicator out there. He was really always where he needed to be, positioned really good. Him and Viper, you can tell, have a very good chemistry between them. They kind of were talking a lot of good. I was trying to figure out what they were doing a lot of time, but they were on the same wavelength. So I think we'll see a lot of that rhythm here play out. Both these teams warming up as we are getting ready for the second match here. Do you have any opinions on who you think might take this one?
I don't. I have absolutely zero opinion because I am not going to curse it, which I usually do. So I don't want to do that to either one of these teams. But I do. I know several of these names on these rosters, and yeah, this is going to be a fantastic match. Now, answer me this: if somebody wants to sign their team up for these incredible games on Tuesday nights, the Sweats, how do they do that?
So in community events, after each event is over, basically the next week gets posted. So Tuesday for next Tuesday matchup will be up. You only need one person in there. We have spots for as many people that want to sign up in case you want your team to get notified. But just to hold the spot just requires one person on the team to sign up. And then we also, part recruiting teams that we want to see. Sometimes we will volunteer them. That's what happened with Selfish and Incognito. I wanted to see both these teams, so I had them go in and mark it. So you can go into community events and mark your channel. You can just DM me on Discord and let me know. We always try to get balanced matches. So if you sign up, it doesn't matter if you're a bronze team or if you're a diamond team. We are going to make sure that we put you with somebody that should be competitive for both sides. And so far, it's worked out really well. So, and we want to get Pandora in here. We want to get everybody's teams in here.
Yeah, we should do that. My team would love to do that. So definitely.
Yeah, your team was fun to play against. They.
You guys were too. We left the arena that night. They were like, "Oh my god, they're so cool."
Yeah, it was like kind of friendly at first, and it was just kind of like then it became like really okay, this is really competitive match here. Let's and by the end of it, I'm pretty sure everybody was laying it all out there.
Yeah, they weren't my guys were not, they were fighting. They they were fighting. But they typically do. I love my team. I love my team. Anybody who knows me hears me talk about them all the time. They are phenomenal and I adore them, and I can't imagine having a team without any of them. So I hope they never leave me.
Yeah, and we don't have a casual setting either. So, but the 6 rounds you have to pace yourself on.
Yes. Oh my gosh, no doubt. All right, well, we are jumping right in, and Selfish is sending that disc right back, but it's going to be intercepted and returned by Incognito right into the hands of Walker. Walker going to sink that one in, getting points on the board already for Incognito. Just a few moments in, not even 30 seconds down on the clock.
Yeah, why waste any time? It looks like we are still needing to get the screen up for the Twitch. Let's see, we got. Are you seeing on Twitch here?
My Twitch, I can see the game.
Okay,
all right,
we're back up. Thank you, Torque. And then we got let's see here, 2-0 lead here, and who is blue here? Oh, so that's Walker. That's going to be
Incognito. Yeah.
Yep. All right, so we got action here in the middle of the field. Incognito is going to move that forward. They have it. They cut it across. Nice pass, and it rips off the ding ring as it goes back into top trench, where it's going to be slapped down, and it is loose. We'll see who picks it up here and where that action moves. It's going to be in the hands of Selfish. They look to reset. Bold reset across the middle of the goal. They move it down to the floor where they're going to pass it across. They are going to pass out of this zone. Nice steady possession. They move it through the far side tunnel where it's going to kick into Trap and fall into Dr. Turt's hands. So nice turnover there. Turt rips it all the way down. It's going to click off the goal and back into Selfish hands. Viperphobia is going to take it on the nest, puts it into Trap. That's a loose disc, but they manage to recover and send it through to the opposite side. But lots of turnovers here early on. It's a back and forth game. A nice rip. It almost came back and went into the goal, but it clicked off. And Walker's going to have it on the ceiling. He flips over, sends it over to top clock, where it's going to be taken in by Dr. Turt, as they now have a 4-0 lead.
Well, four. That's not bad. We've got 2 goals so far, and it has already
Oh yeah.
been 2.5 minutes. They're doing pretty well. Selfish now going to have the joust, and lots of time. 7.5 minutes is a long time in Echo, and that's going to be IMAC with the disc. Going to send that one quickly down the arena. See if they are going to connect that with anybody. It's just going to bounce and give the opportunity to grab it to Incognito. Walker now with that disc, turning around and walking it back down the arena as the stacks are moving in. Going to stun him out and take possession of the disc. K with it now, moving right back towards the blue bubble. Looking for the pass option, maybe a reset. Nope, going to cross it over the arena to Viperphobia. Viperphobia moving in, sends that one to IMAC. IMAC just going to walk for a second, looking for the best play. Going to send it off the back wall, not quite going to connect, and Walker going to pick that one back up to make the clear.
Yeah, a little surprised IMAC didn't make that shot. I think he was a little too far, I guess, across the goal. Oh, Walker with rips a nice 14-meter shot from a tough angle there. And just as it looked like Selfish was going to try to get themselves some on the board, Incognito extends their lead to 7.
Doable. It's still very achievable,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And
And
obtainable.
yeah, this team can score. They can score very quickly, though. I'm definitely not worried.
Yeah.
They have very unique rollouts. When I was playing with Viper the other night, it was like every play was we were going 3 different locations and new
Oh gosh.
locations. He's not afraid to really open up the whole playbook, which is fun. Although sometimes I go a place and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing here. Like, what is my purpose? Another one off the ding ring here. They're having trouble just sealing the deal, and they'll be brought back in by Incognito. They have another chance for points. Leech there by Jimbo. He is very good at that. He almost leeched again consecutively and put that in the
Mhm.
goal. I mean, that was that he had no business being back there with that stack, but he managed to get a quality opportunity off. He's going to chase this disc down. He has it on near side tunnel. It's going to send it deep, but it's going to kick back into the possession of Selfish, but they can't get a good clear. They're going to send it toward goal, but nothing that's going to be threatening there. Lucify is going to send it out to the middle. Oh, the stack gets held up against the Geo. They had a nice stack, but they still recover it. Walker's going to send it up through the middle and down into the opponent's trench.
Yeah, that was a bold shot a few seconds ago. They had 3 players in the ring area, and they still took the long shot. So there was no way. I mean, it would have had to been a wild turn of events for that goal to have gone in, and they're still slapping that disc right back out. But you know what? Incognito is not giving up, and neither is the attack by Selfish. They're going to stun out, gaining possession, but they get stunned out again and lose possession, and it's right back into the hands of Walker. Walker sends it to Jimbo. Jimbo up high to Dr. Turt. Dr. Turt, there we go. Gonna seal that one in for a beautiful 2 points, stretching that lead to 9.
Yeah, great passing all around. They knew where their people were and put it in the hands of Dr. Turt in the ceiling, and he makes a nice move and a great shot. So that's a good offensive possession. They are looking very tuned up here. And we'll see how Selfish decides to respond. They kick it over to near pack and forward into the trap and back down. Nice passing play as they get it to table. Viper is going to send it across, and they send it back to Viper on the near side. He's got a defender above him and another defender coming in. They knock it loose, but it's still going to be in the possession of Selfish, but they don't have enough time. They throw it wayward into the floor as it's going to be a loose disc. Walker's going to chase there and somehow manage to get that by himself. No stacks coming in to threaten him. He's able to send it down. There's the stack and an easy 2 points for Dr. Turtis. They take a double-digit lead with less than 3.5 minutes left to play in the first round.
Wow. So they've definitely kind of run away with things that, it took them a couple minutes to get on the board and to get 4 points up on the board, but they have been consistently putting points on the board since then. 3 minutes left on the clock with Selfish needing to get some points up there so that they can have some momentum and start the flow. That is going to be Viper to IMAC. IMAC going to quickly send it down. Perfect pass into Kay's hands, but Kay gets stunned out, losing possession. That is a free disc right now. Who is going to grab it? It is going to be Walker. Walker sends it right back into the hands of Local and Dr. Turt, but they do lose possession for a moment. Nice slap down by Dr. Turt. Going to send that one all the way down, but IMAC is there to make that grab. Going to send it right back out into the hands of Viper, who's being attacked by Walker. That disc is into the hands of Lucify. Lucify is going to send it through trying to get it through, but not quite. And Local's going to pick it up, sends it over to Walker. Walker on the ceiling, inverted, moving down the arena, trying to get it into the bubble, moving into the bubble, sends it over to Jimbo. Oh no, it's not quite going to go in and bounce right back out of the bubble again.
Yeah, a tough backhand there, and Jimbo's just not able to connect. But this Incognito team looks very comfortable on the offensive side of things. And kudos to Selfish. They keep running these same type of formats. That's what scrims are for. I like that they're staying with instead of changing it up. And they just want to kind of try to impose that game plan. But right now, Incognito, their offense has been very sharp. These passes are well executed. Dr. Turt puts in another one from under the goal at short range. And I don't even think anyone realized he was there. I mean, they have really great, offensive possessions where they're spaced out well. They're in scoring positions and they're executing the passes and the shots. So that's exactly what you hope your team does every time you play.
Absolutely, and they are definitely persistent. They are. They're not even hesitating to continue to fight, which is really nice. That's gonna be less. Oh no, Jimbo gets in the way. Boy, they're really mugging Selfish over there, trying to get that disc all the way back down into the bubble, and it is there, but it's going to be Viperphobia picks that one up and sends it right back through into the midfield area, trying to get to it, and they do, but they do lose possession of it again, and that disc is back down to the hands of Walker. Going to turn it around, Lussify trying to get to him, going to send that one in off the backboard, not quite going to go in, and Jimbo is going to try again, sends it to Local. Whoa, little bit of a send through, and that one's all the way back down into the blue zone.
Yeah, I think really the key here for the first round has been Incognito, not afraid to one-on-one. They seem to be winning all of the 50-50, so to speak, not just because they're outplaying them. They're punching and blocking and really disrupting everything that Selfish is doing, imposing their will. Dr. Turt taking it down from the ceiling for another clean goal. They're just really getting into the grill of Selfish in a way that is not allowing Selfish really the space that they need to be effective. So we'll see if they do this kick over to Pack again or kick into Trap. They headbutt it because time is. They're just going to have a little fun with that last one and see if they can put it deep. But that will be a 15-love shutout here. It's like a tennis score here for the first round, and we shall see how Selfish responds in the second round. Let's see if Viper decides to change up the strat in the meta a little bit, or if he decides to lean into it. As you see there, even Incognito was more punchy. They were more stuns. You see that reflected on the scoreboard. Jimbo, and surprisingly low for Dr. Turt. He seems to be always a really kind of aggressive defender, but it looks like he was more in the scoring state of mind as he puts in double digits on the scoring side of that.
Yeah, it's quite impressive. Now, if you were Selfish right about now, what would you be changing? What if you had to pick something to alter right now in your play style in order to combat Incognito? What would it be?
I would say you have to take the stack out, that primary stack that is causing them to have no time to think about anything. As we saw, they were taking shots that they were rushed. They were just feeling pressured. Their passes weren't quite there. And if you don't have, if you can take out that primary stack that's chasing the disc, buy some time for the disc carrier, then that's really how they're going to change this around. They're getting good passing on their defensive end, but then once it gets to the offensive end, Incognito is just too aggressive for them to really proceed against. They try to get something quick, but it's off the bottom of the ding ring as they try to catch them off guard a little bit, and they'll have a stack here. They send it through the far side tunnel, but it kicks off Geo to the other side. It's going to be picked up by Jimbo. Jimbo's going to walk it in. He's got a cut pass, but he throws it behind it, and it's going to be a turnover. No, misplayed, it looks like, slightly by Selfish. They're going to kick it back to Local. Local's floating. He still gets a nice pass, though, to the ceiling. Looks like Walker over to the top clock. and it's put in by Jimbo as that loose disc ends up being fortuitous for Team Incognito Inc.
Wow. Okay. So they had quite the momentum in round one, taking it 15-0, and they are now. It took them a little longer this time. It took them a whole minute to get points on the board, and one goal is one goal. Oh, we're mixing up a little bit on selfish side. Viperphobia sends that one quickly over to IMAC. IMAC passes it down to K. Lots of passing going on right now by Selfish, with the disc there in the hands of IMAC. Stacks are in position though, and oof, K. Oh, lots of nice passing. Viperphobia now with the disc. Yeah, but the stack does move in on him, stuns him out, and he loses possession. That's going to be Jimbo taking that disc. Oh, ooh, Viper is not going to give up easy, though, and he's going to continue to fight for that disc as it comes in and out of the bubble. Lucify trying to get to it, but going to lose possession to Jimbo. Jimbo going to send that all the way in, but it's going to be intercepted by Viperphobia and sent right back into the midfield.
Yeah, the Jimbo Walker stack is very persistent. They did hold it off there for a while, but then as you saw, it caught back up to them. I do think, however, that Selfish, that play that they're running where they go to pack and then trap and then back across, I think that's gonna be really hard for a lot of Vermal teams to adapt to. But so far, not been a challenge for Incognito. They've really just used their raw speed to disrupt that, and then these loose discs seem to be resulting in offensive opportunities for them that they've been converting all night.
That's Selfish now with the disc on Joust advantage or disadvantage, as we oftentimes say. Viperphobia going to slowly, carefully sends that one across to IMAC, waiting for that stack to come in so that they can maybe ward it off a little bit. Disc is going to be floating.
They're really wanting to get that play down.
They are, but you know what? They're trying it, and that's what scrims are for, right? Is to test things and to see what works and what doesn't work. So maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they don't care.
It is working, and what they find out is what is the truth of it. It's like passing on your defensive side is there's less pressure, and then once you get it through the tunnels, then the pressure just intensifies. And so that's where they're really having trouble, is they haven't really gotten far enough upfield to establish any type of bubble offense. So I don't know. At some point, I think you have to press that pass forward, and you have to maybe send a stack up to a certain point, and instead of sending it all the way back, pass it forward to like cross, opponent's pack or something like that. Because they are seeming to get bottlenecked here. They feel real good about this time. They're going to send it across table. And then once they get here, it's where the problems start arising. They do get a nice pass to Boot there. It's going to be a reset back to Bowtie. They have K on the cross Boot. They send it to K. K sends it back over, but is picked off by Incognito. They did have a good effort there. They're going to pick it back up. Looks like they have a scoring position here as they rip it. Dr. Turt's going to knock it in on his own a little bit, so they don't get credit for the goal, but they do get the 2 points that come with it.
Well, it doesn't matter how you get the points up there, as long as you get those points on the board. So that was nice play. They did kind of slow things down a bit, and I noticed Viperphobia did something that somebody did to me the other day, and it drove me insane as the goalie, is they didn't look at me. And they were looking, and Viper had turned his head and was looking off like he was going to make another pass outside, and then he shot it instead. And a lot of times as goalies, you get too comfortable watching, what's perceived to be their facial expressions or their body movements to see where they're going to go, because that's all you have, and you have to base it on something. So you have to make an effort. And I think that's where he got snagged up there too, was Viperphobia had turned his head and was looking off to the side, looking like he was going to make that pass, and he shot it instead, and it was in. So.
Yeah, we have a player on Vermal, Corny Witch, that does that. Where
yes, that's who it was. Like, oh my gosh!
It's like it just comes out of nowhere. Yeah, I call him the highlight reel, just because every time I play with him, it's like the plays he makes are just absolutely gorgeous. There's a self goal by Lucify. Lots of self goal in here in the second round, but it'll be a 6-point advantage here for Incognito. Self is going to get a rollout. They split out their 2 stacks in the rollout, and we'll see what they do with this one here. They have it on the right side. They're going to redo this play. We're going to go down the trap. We're going to go across to the floor. Yes, we are. And then we're going to go up to the same side table, and we're going to go across table. Oh, same side table is not there that time. Yeah, they are definitely insisting upon that play, and it is a good play. And definitely, if backstack is, and forward stack's going to have to know what to do with that in Vermal. It's going to be tough to deal with. IMAC with a great save, and he manages not to bring it back at all and kicks it out. A nice clearance, and his stack will be first there to send it forward. That's a nice shot. That's going to be in.
Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. My goodness. That was fantastic. Beautiful shot executed by Lucify there. Is it Lucify?
That's how I'm going to say it. Lucify. I'm not sure I've ever played with Lucify.
I haven't either.
But that changed the round, just like it felt like Incognito was putting their foot on the gas. That was a big-time game changer, cuts the lead in half. Incognito sends it through the tunnel, but somehow it comes back. I have no idea how that came back through the tunnel, but ultimately picked up by Selfish. They're going to rip it off above clock. It goes all the way back to midfield where they pick it up, and they have some room. Lucify cutting it across. Nice duck, but gets punched before he can get that onto goal. It's cleared through the trench to the other side. Which stack's going to get there first? It looks like Incognito got there first, but Selfish actually got to the disc first, which is actually what matters. They can't quite clear it out, though. Local Peasant's going to bring up the back line, has it on the floor, kicks it, but a beautiful interception. Nice read. They send it through, and they have a stack. Selfish can tie the game. They cling it off the ding ring. Oh, they wanted that so bad. I wanted that for them. I
Me
want to
too.
see.
I know.
I want to see overtime, double overtime. I'm selfish. I'm not on the team selfish, but I'm the adjective. Let's see here.
I feel that completely.
They have another opportunity here as it clicks outside the bubble to the far near side on IMAX. Going to take it. Nice move on local. He's going to send it across to Bow Tie as Viper comes in, brings it in off shoulder. Oh, beautiful, nice play, but couldn't quite get the shot off. IMAC, nice slap to floor to his teammate, and that's what I'm talking about with Viper and IMAC. That communication that they have, where that was a beautiful slap, and knew exactly where his teammate was going to be. Selfish conversion on the distance at cross pack, and then back to floor. Viper has some room, but it's picked off and sent the other way by Incognito.
That disc was going to go all the way into the bubble, off the backboard, and back out again, where Jimbo does pick it up and moves right in for the delicate goal in there for another 2 points, stretching that lead to 5 with what, a minute and 10, a minute left on the clock as they come out. Selfish is going to need to get some points on the board quickly if they want a third round, and we all know they do because we do as well. So hopefully they will be able to capitalize on that. Selfish now going to come out. They're going to have to quickly grab that disc and get rid of it. There we go. Nice play as that stack comes in. IMAC with the disc.
I know where we're going. Oh, no, they decided to skip.
They mixed it up.
The trench.
What? Yeah. Oh, no, they went to there.
And then they're going to go back over and then rinse and repeat. Another pickoff by Walker. He's got an open goal. Rips it. It's going to have a nice bounce into the teammate's hands, and a bounce shot by Turt. And just as Selfish looked like they were getting ready to claw in, they even had a shot on goal to tie the game, and then they had an offensive possession upfield that they worked really hard on that immediately, once it was turned over, the transition stacks of Incognito got up there and put the dagger in, and then they just added to that. So that's really was the tale here. That Walker JMB stack is a stack that is going to haunt a lot of Vermal teams this year.
It is, definitely. And trying to get a buzzer beater there for Selfish, but not quite going to work out. Incognito is going to take the game. Now let me ask you this, Mark. When you bring in a new play to your team, I'm just curious about this, because I know they did do that same play a couple of times trying to see if they could get it to work. How much time do you give it, or do you ever just throw a play out the window and go, you know what, not doing it right now, we'll come back to it later and table it?
Yeah, I really like what they did there because too often I do like I want to stay with it, but I also want to win the round.
Right.
I have like, an obsession with winning the round, and that I'll go in there and I'll say I don't really care what happens, just a script. But then then you start, let's just do this because it works. But I do like that they stuck with it because it is a really functional play. That play is so versatile because you can use it if another team's beating you up, or you can use it if you have a nice lead. I mean, if you had, that play right there would take 15, 20 seconds off a clock in pretty much any situation. So that's going to come in handy for them. The fact that they had the confidence to just continue to run that through the scrim, I think that's a really good way to do it. I think that is the better approach. What do you all do?
Usually we would say, if we tried it once and it was an epic fail, we might try it again a couple of plays later. And then if it was still a fail, we would say, you know what, we're not doing it with this team. There's a reason. What's the reason? We used to do that. We had a play that we would try, and we were just getting beaten up just to a pulp by the backstack. And we finally said, okay, when they have a backstack and if they're in this area waiting, we're not doing that play. So we've mixed it up a bit, and every now and then we'll pull it back out and go, okay, let's try it again. And it won't work, and we go, okay, table it. Put it away.
Yeah, and it looks like, let's see, it looks like they just picked up, they want to keep playing. That's what we did last week as well, is they just went ahead and hit the restart button. These teams are not done with one another. But we had, Romeo says, run it back. And let's see. Torque, are you able to put that up? They're still playing.
Yeah, still playing.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, we are going to wrap things up for tonight. We had 2 great matches here, and we appreciate everybody coming out to support it. You'll have to go ask one of these teams what happened with the rest of their rounds, because they're still fighting. They're not done with each other just yet. These 2 teams, they can't play enough. They're like all of us. They'll just play until their headset dies. But appreciate you again, Jeep, for joining me on this fine Tuesday night, and appreciate Torque most for being awesome and running these amazing events for us so we can all get together and watch Echo. Appreciate everybody that showed up, and that'll be it for us tonight. It was Tuesday Night Sweats by VRBN.
Into the hands of Nagini. Nagini getting this cross off to Cornywitch once again. Corny getting grounded, getting the move, and
they're on the boot, but very close. And 9
stacks. It is going to be Chuckles a lot there first, but 31 gets the turnover. It is a 4v.
On some brawling happening in the back. Time Lord's going to pass it right over to the center. There goes
the Precise. As Precise gets this one picked up and sent across to Sandalorian. The quick 1-2 back to the Precise, who gets through one, takes the shot, but Cornywitch says trap area into the hands of Nagini. Nagini has the open goal, but maybe, not quite trusting that distance from them. The Precise passing, it is awesome to see players like this working in a team scenario. And what a pass over to AJ Bear.
A bit lows, but they are going to get another chance at taking it. And 9 pops up from the
spin this one forward under some pressure. Gets it to Media, who gets the behind the back slap. Last opportunity here for Nagini.
Just shy of catching the teammate, but it doesn't matter. Purple here, but the blue team's going to take over possession again. Nice clear. That was fantastic from the blue team. See if they can get it down there. And they're coming in hot, but and a steal. What's gonna happen? And 9 drops it 2 and actually misses the goal. That's okay. Purple Flame's gonna pick it back up, try and go for a